So we had an interesting experience going to vote today. So we're getting ready to leave Michigan, but before we leave Michigan, we're going to go vote. So we've been waiting for this. We camped out actually on the parking lot, and we're heading in right now. It's around 8:30 Eastern, and we're excited to get our vote in. Ready?
Yes, we are.
So we had an interesting experience going to vote today. I'm sure we won't be the last one to have to face this as full-time RVers. But we had an interesting issue is that we don't have a place of residency right now because we are full-time RVers. And with that, it causes a little bit of confusion, and more and more people are becoming full-time RVers. And so I think, what do you think?
Yeah, so we don't have a residence, of course, and so we checked with the state of Michigan before we were trying to figure out how we're going to vote this year, and they said that we could use our last known address. And so Prince-Ella had sent an email to them, and they gave us that information. So we came here, we gave them our South Dakota driver's licenses, and those just have our personal mailbox addresses on there.
Which is where we established domicile.
Right. So what happened was the poll workers were like, well, this address doesn't match, so we need to verify your address. And they're like, well, do you have a utility bill from your address? I'm like, no, because it's not our house anymore. And it's like, well, you need to prove that that's your residence. I'm like, no, you don't get it. That's not our residence. That's our last known residence. That's not our residence. That's our last known residence. That's not our residence. That's our last known residence. So they were able to call the state of Michigan through their channels, and they have a process where they verify certain things, and they're like, okay, yep, that's what they can do. So they gave us our ballots.
Yeah. So it was a little bit of a back and forth, which, like I said, I understand because they're trying to follow the rules that they know already, right? Which is you must verify the address, have a valid proof of identity, which we had it from, as Jim said, South Dakota. But she was persistent with her languaging of you must prove your residency. And Jim kept saying, we have our last known residency. And it could have gotten a little escalated, but we just didn't let it because we felt really confident about the research that we did in finding out where we could vote, because obviously voting was really important to us. So when you go to vote and you're like us, you don't have a permanent residency, living in your RV, traveling back and forth, which we love, just know that they're not all going to know this lifestyle and understand this lifestyle. Be patient. Expect that everybody isn't going to know. Do your due diligence on what your state says about how you can vote.
Right, because it may not be the same case for every state.
So I had my email ready that verified what we needed to do. Knowing that I had the proof on what I had heard, they got official word from the BOE. Board
of Election.
Okay, Board of Election, BOE, and verified it. And so we just voted. Yay! If you want to know how to establish domicile as a full-time RVer, like and subscribe our channel to get our future videos.